Sleep is a huge part of our everyday lives, as it can affect the quality of the rest of our day. For most people, it keeps them from going insane. For others, however, such as sleepwalkers, this can be life-threatening or worse. And in some instances, sleepwalking has been attributed to being the culprit of violent crimes being committed. Sleepwalking is a type of sleep disorder that is known as a parasomnia, which are essentially abnormalities that occur while in deep sleep. Sleep apnea and sleep paralysis are also known as parasomnias. On May 24th, 1987, on the early hours of the morning, Kenneth Parks reportedly drove from his home in Pickering, Ontario, to the house of his mother-in-law over in Scarborough, Ontario. Now keep in mind that all this is happening while he is sleepwalking. Kenneth then enters the home with a key given to him by his mother-in-law. Shortly after making his way into the home, he began to strike his mother-in-law with a tire iron until she succumbed to her wounds. Kenneth then turned to his father-in-law, which by this time had heard all the commotion going around. Kenneth attempted to strangle his father-in-law, however, he was ultimately unsuccessful. It is then presumed that his father-in-law woke him up from his sleepwalk trance. Once Kenneth realized what he had done, he rushed over to his car and started driving towards the nearest police station. At the police station, Kenneth admitted to what he had done. He stated, quote, "I think I just killed 2 people." During Kenneth's trial, he was charged with attempted murder. However, he was acquitted for his crimes due to him sleepwalking while committing the crimes. He walks a free man today.
We love you too, by the way.
Stephen and Chris was an afternoon talk show. The show was aired on the CBC, which is a Canadian news channel.
There was shock and sadness today at the news Chris Hindman had died.
But it ended suddenly and shockingly last August, when Hindman's body was found in the laneway below their Toronto apartment.
On August 3rd, 2015, at 11:06 p.m., 49-year-old Chris Hindman was found unresponsive outside of his 6-story apartment. Canadian police did not put out any statements regarding his death. Chris's fans believed they would never get closure. However, 2 days later, Chris's mother would go on an interview where she would go on to state, quote, "Christopher was a sleepwalker, and he did that a lot. He even ate in his sleep." She explains, "It's not good, but that's his reality." And as for the show Stephen and Chris, it would go on to be cancelled, as Stephen would not want to replace Chris. In the early hours of the morning, on March 18th, 2012, at the Mohegan Sun Casino, an 87-year-old woman would report to authorities she had been robbed on an elevator by a man with a large knife demanding her purse. The man responsible for the robbery would be later identified as 27-year-old Winston Riley. Riley would go on to get arrested, and during his investigation, he claimed that he was sleepwalking during the whole incident. His reasoning could have maybe have worked if it wasn't for the fact that he stated that he, quote, "just wanted some money." Due to his claim of sleepwalking while committing the crime being debunked, he was served a 6-year sentence as well as a trip back to his home country of Jamaica, since he was deported. Sleepwalking may be one of humanity's greatest phenomenons, with some instances being weird, funny, or enticing. However, the cases we have covered today are more disturbing than usual. And that concludes today's video. I will see you in the next one.